Good.
Oh, we're live. Good morning. Hey,
No.
we got Thomas here. We got Dr.
Yes,
Kills.
no.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Friday.
It is
What
Friday.
are we today? The 19th of September.
Yes.
Yes.
The 19th of September. Yeah. Oh, so right after this, everyone has some homework to do. The weekly podcast is released. So everyone after this, you're going to see Mitch and then you're going to see the podcast. Everyone has a lot of homework to do.
Are our links working?
They should be working. They should be working. That was being worked on yesterday.
Have we checked them?
Yes, they're working. Everyone can get onto drkills.com now.
And see whether or not they could link the coaching course, because I just got an text that you can't. So
okay.
It's technology around the world. It's like these solar flares. It's like my bowels are trying to kill me.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Bone broth.
It's all part of the journey.
It's all part of the journey.
Part of the journey. Yeah. All right. We're live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, and I'm live on Kilt's Mighty Track.
Yay.
Morning, Thomas.
Hey.
So we're doing a t-shirt today, by the way. Hashtag KMT for a t-shirt. Not nice. Thomas's t-shirt. Thomas, show your t-shirt.
All right, ready?
Not Thomas's t-shirt.
We need more of those. We need a piece of steak on it.
Well, guess where I got it?
From Dr. Kiltz's website.
Dr. Barry. JB's here on KMT. That's nice. What's a t-shirt today, right?
Yeah, we're getting a t-shirt today. Hashtag KMT
what's
for a
Dr.
t-shirt.
Nelson's favorite t-shirt?
A steak a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah.
Got that one too.
That's the most creative thing I've done in this life. No, I'm just joking. But top 10.
I traveled and I don't know, I got this something in my bowels. Plus, my CAC score is up 100 points. And my CT angiogram, we'll talk about that maybe with Dr. Nelson next week. And all fun. And
Are you worried?
I'm giving up. I never worry about anything.
Okay.
Fuck no. Oh, wait, F it. No. This is a journey of wondering. This is not a worrying. Nothing to worry about. I already know the journey, where I'm going. It's all good. But I'm not going today.
There you go. So.
But it is Thomas's story today, right, Dr. Nelson?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we have Thomas, Target Prime Rib, as our guest today. If you have any questions for him, put them in the chat, please.
Yes.
We're having hashtag KMT for a shirt, like Alia said. Which shirt, by the way?
Take a day, your favorite shirt.
Okay.
Why don't we do that one? That's good. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about who you are, how you got here, your carnivore story.
Okay. I obviously started off with type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed back when I was 30. I will be 53 tomorrow, so about 23 years. And through that, I developed neuropathy, and I had other issues as well, including gastroparesis. I had that for a while, for a few years. During the time I had the diabetes, about the last 5 years, I developed bad foot problems, including the horrible foot ulcers, holes, like pretty much a hole in the foot, and had heel damage. And then later on, my other foot actually had I had to have my toes removed, so I had amputations, and I had the wound open for quite a while. like when the doctor actually did the operation, he left the wound open and just wrapped. And it was over a year that I actually had it opened up before it fully closed up on its own. And I think during that time, I believe that it caused an infection. And I think that's why it caused the infection in the back, because just because it was closed with a bandage doesn't mean it was never, ever, didn't have any ability to have anything go into it, And this is just my thought. This is my premise. I could be wrong. Doesn't matter. This is what I thought, And, and I ended up getting an infection inside my back, right in my spine. And it caused me to be pretty much literally unable to move for like 3 months in my bed. Like I had to get help with everything I did in life. Was in rehab back and forth. I was in all, the only thing I never really had, actually, I think I probably did use everything that, I used a cane, I used a walker, I used a knee walker, a knee scooter, I used a wheelchair, I was in everything. Fast forward to today, I am not only walking at least 3 miles, but I'm not going to, like, I still have pain, don't get me wrong, but I just have tricks and I still get through it. I walk around the track now about 3 miles, and I walk with a weighted vest of about 40 to 50 pounds. I'm not sure exactly what, but I think it's about 50 pounds. And I do all that, and I'm doing well. I am considering going actually to the beach, which is a little further down the road, and there's not really as many stops that I can stop and rest for a second. I don't take any pain pills. I think the last pain pill I've ever taken is probably when I first started Carnivore, probably about 9 months ago. And I'm off omeprazole, which was for my gastroparesis. I did have a bout of the stomach issues a little bit ago, but we figured out, and I'm better now. I'm a lot better now, and the insulin has actually gone a lot less too. Been cut in half basically. So, medications. My A1C since I started this journey was 8.9 when I first started, when I first met you guys, and now it's a 6.2, and that's my baseline. So, and I believe it. Yes, it does not make me not. I didn't reverse diabetes yet, but I know I'm going to, and I know that it's just a journey that I'm going to keep on going and keep on trucking.
You're on your
What
way.
medications are you on?
What was that?
What medications are you on, Thomas?
Just the insulin.
And how often? How much?
At this point, basically just no more than 2 times a day and about 8 units.
And are you doing a CGM?
Yeah.
Glucose monitor?
Right now it's a little high. It's at 142, but I'm not worried.
But it's improved significantly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's probably, the highest it's probably been lately is probably like 150 is probably the highest it goes, in the past couple of weeks.
Tell us a little bit about your dietary habits, what you've changed and what you're eating. What does it look like?
Okay, well, mostly meat, mostly red meat. I do occasionally, I will have chicken every once in a while. I did have one carb about a week ago. I did have pickles, just to kind of see how I would feel with that, with Dr. Amara, him saying to put fermented vegetables back in. So I thought maybe I'd try it to see if that would help with the gut. But to tell you the truth, it didn't really make me feel any different or anything. So it really didn't do anything for me. So I don't think I'm going to do the pickles for a while, But mostly, I'm kind of cheap, kind of low expense. So I usually just get my burgers at Walmart, and they're pure burgers, 100% beef. And I get the 7327 brand, and I don't drain them. I don't like try to get less. It's not one of those things. And I do add, sometimes I'll even add like either lard or butter to them, like when I cook them, butter cold afterwards, but the lard while I'm cooking it. And then, I'm just trying to think, I'm sorry. And then I will occasionally go to ShopRite and I'll buy like a few steaks or something like that, like chuck roast. But for my birthday tomorrow, I actually got myself boneless ribeye. I wanted to get a tomahawk, but the place I went to didn't have them, so you can't get what they don't have.
All right,
Awesome.
questions.
How many times a day do you eat?
Well, right now I'm on the ADF, so I alternate day fasting. So I fast every other day. I fast on odd days. So yes, today is a day of fasting. And on even days I eat. So I basically
once
it
or
depends
twice?
on my stomach. Usually 2 to 3 times a day. Depends on my stomach. It depends on how I feel. If I feel I want to have that third meal or not. If I do have that third meal, it's usually not that much. I would hardly call it a meal. It's maybe like 1 burger, 2 burgers. That's it. For me, it's nothing.
And how do you feel doing that? If we compare to, how long have you been carnivore total? Time.
I always say that I consider myself full carnivore when I started with you guys, when I started with the community.
Okay.
That's the day I count. That's been since January 1st. So it'll be 10 months, October 1st.
Very good.
I'm happy about it. So.
Neuropathy is one of those things that you can find improvement in the symptoms, whether it's numbness, tingling, pain, burning. It's described by different people different ways.
Right.
But anything that is related to the nervous system, it's very slow because it's the regeneration of brain cells and nerve cells is a lot slower than other parts of the body.
Yeah, I mean, one of my, I kind of always had the thought in my head, and I could be, again, I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but self-analysis, I always, excuse me, I always thought the reason why, whenever I walk, I still do have some pain, but it's like sort of like that, you kind of like meditate shortly to kind of like relieve from it. That's why I don't need the pain pills. But it's always on the leg, and it's always when I step on that leg of where I had the amputation. So it just makes me think that it could be nerve damage from the amputation itself, and it just causing the pain to go up my leg.
Or nerve damage from the disease process of
or both. Yeah.
hyperglycemia, and mostly vascular damage it causes.
Right. Yeah, I just always found it funny how it's like that particular side, that particular leg, that particular, as I'm stepping, because basically how I relieve my leg is, and no, I'm not a dog, if anybody thinks I am, but I just lift my leg for a couple seconds, and that relieves the pain, and I just keep on going.
Well, you're putting pressure. You probably know this, but you're putting pressure in areas that were not exposed to pressure before because of the absence of the toes. So your gait is changed. The normal pressure you would put on your foot has changed, and that's where the surgery was. That was the neuropathy causes nerve damage, the vascular damage. Usually when you lose circulation and you have neuropathy, both of them contribute to the end problem.
Right. Yeah. No. I.
How
We
we
have
doing
a bunch of questions. Ali, if you can maybe let's start with
Sorry,
that.
my mic is muted. I really, a second before you said that, I said we have a bunch of questions. I didn't realize my mic was muted. So Chris has some interesting comments here. I think this is supposed to be QQQ, not CCC. He says, Dr. Hiltz, thank you for all you do. I have recently left my PCP, that's your primary care physician, stupefied with advanced health recovery. Your support here is priceless. He says, I explained my diet to my PCP before issuing a blood draw for lipid panel. He was discussing cholesterol medications. Everything came back spot on, LDL 91. And then the doctor said, he admitted he was not trained in nutrition. I said the nutritionists are not trained either. All true.
That's funny.
Well, they are trained on recommending a plant-based low-fat diet.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Bill Cook asks about if you're on GLP-1s, by the way. Thomas, are you on a GLP-1?
No. Currently, I'm not.
Okay. And then this just popped up, but I'll get back to the questions in sequence in a second. J-Bud says, maybe don't walk with the extra 50 pound vest until you gain your strength back in your foot.
It's actually a lot better than it was, and I don't do it all the time. It's like maybe once a week at the most I do it. I just do it. Believe it or not, it actually helps me with balance. It's I feel like I'm not like as wobbly when I have the vest on.
Oh,
It's like I'm trying to think of, it's like when it's like you're as light as air and you're going to be floating, you have to like have something that brings you back down again. That's kind of what the vest does for me. So, but thank you.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's keeping you held, helping you stay gravitatized.
Yeah. Carnivore has made me so light and fluffy that I need something to ground me.
That's funny. Okay, Booby Goats, how high was your A1C when you started Carnivore? How high is it now?
When I started Carnivore, it was 8.9, but there was actually a time where it was 13.5. It's the highest I've ever had it. But now, I call them baselines because it's like, because you don't find out when the next one is until 3 months. So it could be lower now, it could be higher now. But the last baseline is 6.2. So
there you go. It'll get there.
I have no doubt about that.
Main Runner. Never knew your story, Thomas. I'm feeling grateful for my health. Glad you're getting better all the time now.
Thank you, Main Runner.
And there's always going to be a tremendous spectrum. And remember, there are lots of us out there, and we're all seeking some perfection, but life isn't perfect. It's messy sometimes. And so the carnivore keto lifestyle is going to improve so many of us. And Dr. Nelson, would you say that keto is better than the standard diet?
Oh, definitely. By leaps and bounds. Absolutely. So if you're having some plants, fruits, nuts, and you're on your way to reducing that, certainly that is a lot better than grabbing a bag, or a can of X. I don't think there's anything that comes in a bag, in a box, a bag, or a can that we should be eating.
Right. So if it's like a one ingredient food, you're going to be doing way better. But you're going to do the best if it's a one ingredient cow.
What nature provides for all of us.
What nature provides
is still healthier in an unprocessed state.
Right. Coach Carnivore Edens, how did you discover you had diabetes? How old were you?
I was 30 when I discovered it, and it's kind of a weird story. I was actually coming home from a late night of working because I used to work with, I think I mentioned to all you guys before too, that I used to do tuxedos for a living. I was the guy that would actually fit you for your wedding or fit you for, your prom tux or whatever, And I was a manager of one of the stores, and I was coming home late, and I decided to go to Burger King on my way home, and I had, if I remember the meal, I definitely had it. It was this was the time when they had the supersizing or whatever they called it for Burger King, and so I had a Dr. Pepper. I had like two Whoppers, 2 chicken sandwiches, fries, pretty much the whole thing. I did not eat very well at that time, obviously, and I go home and I have this like pain in my left arm that was going down my left arm, and I thought that maybe I was having a heart attack, because I heard that pain in the left arm could indicate that. So I went to a hospital, St. Francis Hospital in Trenton, New Jersey. And I'm going pretty quickly because obviously being in a hospital, you're there for like 12, 15 hours before they even diagnose you. And they didn't see anything. The EKG was fine. And then I told the nurse what I had, and she's like, hold on 1 second, and she actually did a blood sugar test, and it came up 398. And she's like, okay, I think you should go see your doctor and see an endocrinologist and see about, that's all she said, was that I think you should see a doctor and see an endocrinologist. So I did, and they said, and my doctor actually was like, well, how do we know you're diabetic? We don't know really, and the endocrinologist is like, no, a 398 blood sugar, you're definitely diabetic.
Yes. A lot of people don't know if they haven't looked into this, but there are 4 different diagnostic criteria for diabetes. One of them, only for the past 15, 16 years, is the A1C. The A1C before, I think, 2009 was not an official diagnostic criteria, even though it had been used for many years to confirm the levels. But the other 3 criteria have to do with, one of them is any random blood sugar over 200, basically, is diabetes. Usually you want to confirm it with the second one. But yeah, a near 400 random blood sugar, you're diabetes. You have diabetes, period. There's no question about it.
So that's how I found out.
And diabetes is likely one of the most prevalent diseases that we're suffering from around the globe. But
it's pandemic levels now. Pandemic levels.
Wow.
Right. And so the question is, really, so many people are essentially pre-diabetic, which has some slow and silent effects on our bodies.
By the way, I don't think but yes, the standard diagnostic nomenclature is pre-diabetes, but it's like being pre-pregnant.
Right.
I don't think it's a spectrum.
But right. That's the whole point, is because the same thing goes with, I've got cancer or whatever your disease is. There's a state that you're suffering from that doesn't fit into our standard criteria. No. And so we know that things like cancers could be precancerous, which means cellular atypia, which essentially is metabolic dysfunction. My sense is it's liver dysfunction, which can be caused maybe even in utero. we're going to be adversely affected by our mother's diet, but even our mother's, which affects the mother's mitochondria, which passed on to all of us.
Interesting.
So these are important points.
Exactly. Anthony asked, you have a degen disc, Thomas?
Degenerative disc.
I don't know.
Degenerative disc.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You did mention you had an infection in your spine.
Oh, is that what that? Okay, I didn't know what that was.
No,
yeah, I did have the infection.
Disc, but you did mention an infection in your back, and of course that must have.
I did have it in my spine, and I'm better now when it comes to, at least somewhat better. Yeah, I just didn't know what the term was. I apologize on that.
well, in essence, diabetes is all a chronic inflammatory condition, and it's not necessarily localized, it's systemic anyway. So we have this systemic inflammation everywhere in our body that we may not know it, but then suddenly, bingo, it hits us and we feel it. Carol Paris on KMT asked, can pre-diabetes be corrected if one changes their diet?
Absolutely.
And I mean, pretty much.
I believe that. Yeah.
Everything can be reversed, but not always for always.
Yeah. I understand.
And we're never going to do it 100%, and 100% of the people who have had, especially the longer you've had a disease causing damage to your body. But the Verta Health Study, 2017, I think, was a huge study, what we call a landmark study, where 70% of people in the study either reversed or put it in remission or got rid of all the medications with significant improvement. I mean, overwhelming proof that changing your diet, not adding medication, was the solution for most people in that study. And even the ones that, were not in the 70% had improvements.
And is Dr. Barbara Stewart, is this way of eating will get rid of inflammation? And what about arthritis? It certainly reduces, if not eliminates, much or most of it for most of us. Again, for every carnivore we seem to talk to has significantly reduced or eliminated the arthritis, psoriasis, migraines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All the itis.
Itises and osis. But again, I mean, I've got in my travels, something's attacking me. and even getting to my CAC score gone up, and my familial hypercholesterolemia, it's kind of an up and down, and we're still exploring it. The challenge always comes is, we find all these signs and symptoms of things. Sign is mostly a diagnostic test. A symptom is what you feel, but we know the consequences aren't always easily predicted. What are your thoughts, Dr. Nelson?
Well, I mean, you do what you can do with the information you have. So we can never predict exactly what's going to happen. The best we can do is predicting the risks and the percentage of risk, perhaps the likelihood of you having something. So if I tell you the next 10 years, you may have X chance, whether it's 10%, 20%, or 50%, I still cannot know what's going to really happen. What were the numbers, Dr. Kills, if you want to share the CAC score? Because
My
you've mentioned the
CSC
previous. What?
Well, my CSC score was 700 2.5 years ago ish.
Okay.
Maybe almost 3 years ago. It could be, but it's only 2 or 3 years, and now it's 800. And my CT
that's actually a progression under 10% per year, which is supposedly within the normal range.
Right.
Of,
And so, and so with a CT angiogram showing progression in plaque progression, what would you do with that?
Well, we had when we were in San Diego, we had a couple of people talking there about the CTA trial. Dave Feldman, Dr. Adrian Soto Moya. By the way, did he reschedule? He canceled, or we canceled. I don't remember what it was.
No, that's Dave Feldman. I saw cancel, and then I saw him on.
No, I'm talking about Adrian Soto.
I don't know, but Dave Feldman's going to be on a Thursday night in a call in the Kills Mighty Tribe.
Cool.
Yeah.
And have we had Diamond, Dr. Dave Diamond, recently?
Not yet. I don't think we've had him on yet.
We haven't. I'm writing it down.
We should have him and talk about familial and hypercholesterolemia. Very interesting.
Well, it is all very interesting, but remember, do we predict 100%?
No.
No, right? And so a little bit is okay. Well, if we know it's only a probability, not an absolute, and so what modalities we utilize in order to help us all predict in the best we can and decide what modalities of treatment we want to utilize.
By the way, you probably know this, but familial hypercholesterolemia is an interesting, when you look at the curves of mortality and related to the cholesterol, once you pass the age of 50, the mortality actually is better than the rest of the population. The numbers are better. So at your age, and
70 essentially,
you have a much better chance as far as the life expectancy than the rest of the people. Those people that get to 100, by the way, have high. I mean, like all of them have high cholesterol.
Well, how many of them have plaque in their arteries? Cardiac.
Probably a good number of them.
Probably majority. Well, and that's the conundrum. Grandmother lived 104, 86, liver cancer, 86. Parents lived to 93. Father had heart disease, 5-vessel bypass at 75, 8. And so, but what does a CAC score predict completely, or a CT angiogram predict? And what does a lipid panel with cholesterol 437 and LDL of 351? And our real question is, okay, well, it means nothing or it means something, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There's associated risks, definitely. Okay, so you mentioned two numbers. What were your triglycerides and HDL?
202 triglycerides, and this was I don't know if it was a fasting or how long I had been fasting. I think it was. cholesterol 437, HDL cholesterol 41, and VLDL 45, and LDL, the calculated was 351.
Which pharmacy do you want me to send the statin? No, just kidding.
There's a Walmart. There's a Walgreens right down the street from his house.
And again, it is an interesting one. That what does this say 100% or 50%? And my C peptide is all my ESR and CRP are all like low. My glucoses insulin's less than 1. My hemoglobin A1C is 5.6, always, for years, despite all those other numbers being low. But my let's see, here's cholesterol.
What was the C peptide?
0.9.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get my LDL. Here is triglycerides 102, HDL cholesterol 55, total cholesterol 388, and LDL 316.
Did you have the NMR? The lipoprotein fractionation.
No, I thought it was, but it wasn't. Okay, but now here's the question. All right. So, but based on the CT angiogram and a CAC score, even with those normal levels, so there's some progression in the vascular something, because I have calcium deposited everywhere in my body. Oh, by the way, I'm completely asymptomatic in my treadmill test, and echo was normal. So what's Dr. Nelson say?
By the way, this is going to come out probably 2 weeks. I did a video with Kerry just last night going over his lipoprotein fractionation or NMR or advanced lipid panel. All those things mean the same thing. And we talked about the particle numbers, and so
but
he's going to have
the CT angiogram shows progression despite normal lipid panel. What do you do?
Well, the options are not that many. Cholesterol medication would be what most doctors are going to suggest: niacin, omega-3 fatty acids. There are some supplements that you can use. There's always controversy. And niacin, for example, it's excellent at lowering those numbers, but it doesn't improve all-cause mortality and the percentage of events. So lowering the numbers, any intervention, this is a more general view, any intervention must change the percentage of events or all-cause mortality for it to be useful. It doesn't matter whether they decrease numbers, just decreasing. You don't treat the numbers. We're trying to live longer, right? If we can do that or improve quality of life. Yeah. But your risk of having a heart attack and stroke is, in my mind, what I'm interested in avoiding, right? And some of these interventions
in the near future.
Yeah.
But the interesting part is none of us know when and how we're going to die anyway. Quality over quantity is probably the most important part here. And I think the interesting part about have we proven that carnivore diet extends your lifespan?
No.
We haven't proven that with any diet, by the way. Anyone claiming differently is just
And
Yeah.
I actually want to live better. It's not so much as living longer. It's living better than I did before, and I'm doing that right now. I'm doing it every day that on Carnivore. So
I'm really curious about the blue zones, by the way. Maybe it's other factors that we're not looking at. They all say it's diet, but there's got to be other factors.
Blue
Or
zone
they
is
just don't exist.
it's a trademarked. It's a trademarked entity that.
Yeah, but the blue zones do exist. The explanation of why people live longer in certain groups or communities is where the big holes are in their argument. Because there are people who live longer in Okinawa, where is it, this island off Italy, in
exactly.
certain groups, they do live longer. But the why behind it's where a lot of the argument exists.
Right.
In 2011, my triglycerides were 65, HDL cholesterol 50, VLDL 13, and LDL HDL ratio 3.3. My LDL cholesterol was 166 and total cholesterol was 229.
Those were better numbers.
So essentially, off coffee for 2 years on a very, very regimen, 1 meal a day, fasting, 5 days every quarter, and a meat, very high fatty, rare raw meat centric diet. Again, is there progression of disease, or is it just the nature of progressing with aging that really we can't really predict when he's going to be called? Yeah.
Sorry. When you're ready, we have more questions. I wanted
Let's
to
go.
get
Let's do
through.
the question.
Go ahead.
Okay, King Neptune question: what's the blood pressure, and is he on blood pressure meds? Blood pressure meds could elevate sugar.
I don't know what my current blood pressure is right now, but no, I was on blood pressure med. I forget the name of it, but I'm off that now.
Nice.
And that is some blood pressure meds, not all blood pressure meds have that effect.
Yeah, not all of them raise the blood pressure. Yeah.
Dr. Nelson, you go ahead first. Go with that question first.
Okay, Frank Calabrese. Thomas, anyone in your family also have or had diabetes? I just had bloods, carnivore cheers, and don't know why my HbA1c is 5.8. It was always in the 4s. My mom had diabetes, hence the question. Thanks. I guess that's for Thomas and maybe Dr. Nelson also.
Yeah, no. I mean, the only 2 people I know of that had diabetes was one of my aunts. On my father's side, my father was actually one of 9 children, so one of the aunts had diabetes, and my grandfather we realized had diabetes, and he actually had his whole bottom leg, from the knee down, amputated. So, but he always claimed it was from being in World War II, but we found out later on it was diabetes.
Most likely it was diabetes, that's where the diabetes is basically having high blood sugar. The damage, it's in the arteries everywhere, and all the complications of diabetes start with some damage to the glycocalyx, where the initial insult happens and a cascade of events develop. So most people with circulatory problems, it is because of diabetes.
And World War II, what was the most common thing handed out to all GIs?
Oh, no, the GI ration, basically.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
And what do those 2 things cause? cardiovascular disease.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And remember, it damages the glycocalyx in the lungs and the vessels everywhere, which
Smoking
leads
in
to,
particular.
what's
Yeah.
that?
The smoking in particular.
Well, Hershey's chocolate is sugar, and we know that, and but it was sort of it was an addiction driving diet or lifestyle that they pushed, during the war and before the war and after the war, and so which he's right. World War II caused his leg to be amputated because
Right.
drove him and so many other people to a lifestyle of tobacco and treats.
Yeah. And they,
And,
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to see if Dr. Nelson wanted to say anything about why his HbA1c is 5.8 now when it was always in his 4s.
All right. So do we have genetic predispositions to a certain problem? The answer is yes. That doesn't mean it's a death sentence that you're going to have something. It just increases your risk. In the case of the blood sugars, the diet, eating the wrong diet will increase your chances, especially if you have a predisposition to have diabetes. It runs in the families very often because we all eat the same in the family. But yes, there could be some. How much is one or the other? I don't know. But yes, if your hemoglobin A1C is going up, then at this point, it's part of the diagnosis would be pre-diabetes. And in the context of who 2 years carnivore, is that looks like
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I would say by the way, context matters. 5.8 in someone who otherwise is not eating the standard American diet, your chances of disease, of cardiovascular disease in particular, may not be the same. I would take a look at triglycerides, HDL, and a few other tests if you want to look at tests. But make sure you're having fatty meats and not avoiding. If you're on a very low fat diet, which some carnivores are, then your chances of having a higher hemoglobin A1C might be there. It might go up a little bit if you're having too much protein compared to the amount of fat that you're having.
And the generalized numbers that we've created are averages. And so certainly a number of 10 is not a good one. But the 5.8, 5.9 is not the same as 8 to 9. And so again, these are all predictive, but not absolutes. They're not 100% or zero, yes or no. They're more likely or less likely. What are the odds that we're all going to die?
100%.
When and how, we are not very good at that. And certainly carnivore as a ketovore, paleo, fasting, living a lifestyle, and joyous in life, no matter what, is a positive factor to living better and longer, maybe, or at least happier. And what's the best way to be happy every day?
Faith.
Be
happy every day.
Yeah.
Just be happy.
No matter what.
You think happiness, you get happiness.
And
here's another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You go, Alia.
Okay, Archie asks how many burgers you eat, and once you get the juice, I guess the juicy burgers. Can this diet help with edema?
Edema.
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 Yeah, I can't see it helping with edema. um, my answer to that I would think it would. I don't really know for sure, but I've seen, edema that's a skin thing, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, it's swelling in the legs.
Oh, swelling in the legs. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
swelling
not
anywhere. Swelling
Yeah,
anywhere. Okay.
I mean, I still occasionally get swelling. Like I did have swelling in my legs and stuff like that. But I get it, but it's like before it was like sort of like this. Now it's more like this. It's just a little bit. So I just use my my vibrating plate to actually help bring down the, I don't know what you would call it, the fluids or whatever.
Yeah.
That helps me out a lot. But I think it's helped a lot. Yeah, and I think as I keep on going, as I keep on getting better, one of the things I've noticed is my circulation's a lot better than it used to be. I actually, if you guys see it, but I did a video. I can't really get the picture up now, but I showed a before and after of my face, and I noticed that I was pale and white in the before picture when I first started, like 10 months ago, and now I feel like I have more color in my skin. So
Sure.
I think the circulation's a lot better.
Great. Here's another question. Oh, you want to pop up Thomas's channel?
Okay.
Everyone go subscribe to Thomas's channel.
Thank you. Prime rib. Okay.
Is that an American flag with eggs on it?
No, it's the hat.
Oh, it's
and the guy on top is this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Todd Lindy.
Todd Lindy, that's funny.
Yeah. I wonder if you could guess who that was named after.
Limitless Lindy and
yeah.
Todd is I forget.
Yeah, Todd Bachnes. Yeah,
Bachnes,
yeah. He was speechless when I showed them that.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Let's try to get through the rest of these questions here. Carnivore Cash. Did Dr. Kilt say cellular atibia?
Well, it's so dysplasia, atypical cellular growth, but cancerous lesions go from a normal cell to a cancerous cell, and there's the risk, there's the progression, dysplasia, atypia, which then leads to cancer eventually. And there's some levels in between. Sometimes they'll call them sort of a borderline cancer versus a cancer, but inflammation damages the cell, the DNA, which causes a very disruptive cell, which isn't happy, and much of it is secondary to inflammation. And Dr. Thomas Seyfried's book, Cancers and Metabolic Disorders, is really a great one.
Yeah, I wish I knew of Thomas Seyfried when my mom was still alive. Maybe we would have found some things out, So,
and that's what we're all here to do. We're all going to pass. We're seeing in modern medicine and seeing people like Saladino, Verta Health, Peter Attia, Sean Baker. And there's some others that basically said, standard medicine ain't working. I'm getting out of here. And what we're learning, and I think you could dovetail, and there could be a working together in all of this rather than this or that. And I think that's one of the most important things that we're doing is we're all going to die, but we're learning from those of us that have had illnesses and damaged disease and early deaths, and the high cost of healthcare, and the number of bankruptcies from healthcare debt, and the number of drugs that everyone's on. So let's work together and helping us heal, recognizing that it's 100% journey.
That's right. Here we go. I'm going to press the button now, and then maybe we will get a few more questions in.
Okay.
Let's see. And showing up, Carol Paris on KMT. Thank you all so much for showing up for us every morning. Thank you for showing up every morning. All right. Carnivore Coach, great. Awesome. So
good job, Juliet. Email me.
Congratulations, Juliet.
Is the most important part of the game and the journey.
Right.
And I'm grateful to Dr. Nelson and Alia for showing up and helping keep Kilts going and keep the KMT going and Kilts Health and all the ideas that we're all doing together. All together. Paulo Rodriguez, Leon Gravsande, Carrie Klein, inflammation decreased. Dr. Barbara Stewart, is this way of eating will help rid of inflammation, arthritis? Yes. Jamestown, California. Prediabetes is reduced, healed, eliminated. William Cook, Jody Jazuski, F it. Faith it. I say faith is always first. F it.
I don't know if people are going to make the connection, but there
It's
you go.
all the
Faith is
connection.
first.
Ultimately, it's all God's work.
By the way, regarding pain and inflammation, we've talked about edema. My legs used to be very swollen. Now they're not. That changed. Chronic pain, plantar fasciitis for 35 years, gone. And chronic back issues with chronic pain, also gone. Now, do I get some kink in my back once in a while? Yeah, but it's something temporary.
Do you get a Nelly in your back sometimes?
Let's not.
I'm getting my.
You got the headphones on.
I'm getting us in trouble. I always say yes, dear, to Miss T. Yes, dear.
Yeah, recently
I ended up in trouble.
We're going to do a live stream of Dr. Kiltz's marriage advice.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
This guy goes to a priest and asks, "Father, I'm hearing voices telling me what to do. Am I going crazy?" And the father says, "No, you're just married."
All right. Let's see. Kira Todd. I have chronic prostatitis, seminal vesicolitis. Antibiotics didn't work, and it's harming my fertility. Could you carnivore? Oh yeah, carnivore, faith. Carnivore, faith, and fasting will help. And sometimes you have to do a month or 3 of an antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, because it's a gastrointestinal infection that affects the prostate more than anything. And right now, I got some colitis or something going on that's trying to kill me.
It won't. It's not going to.
I will die, but not today. Not today. All right. Let's see. And KMT's for free, but we're creating different levels. Kilts Health, and the team is working on a new website, which basically they kick everything out. And if there are any issues, please let us know. It's work in progress, right? We got signage on the sidewalk that says "Excuse our construction zone." This is a construction zone, isn't it, Dr. Nelson?
Yeah.
Work in progress, right?
Work in progress, right? And our job is to make ourselves good food and good fertilizer for the microbes in the plants.
That's right. We've got a ton of questions, so I'm sorry that we didn't get to them all. But
Well, maybe we'll throw on an additional live or 2 or 3 to get to some of these questions.
sure.
But again, my gratitude to everyone on KMT, and especially to Dr. Nelson and Alia for helping. Let's keep growing this mission. Let's all work together with Dr. Berry, Bella, Baker, Chafee, Wiedemann, our good friend Maria Craig Emmerich. But there's infinite people out there. We're all working together because what's the most important part of the story?
Us.
I don't know. I was waiting for Dr. Nelson to say something really important. But he's like, what the F is he saying?
Well, community is one of the things that would go there.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were.
Sometimes the simplest the answer, sometimes the harder it comes up.
Ostrom, have a great day. It's our
Thomas,
community. It's
when
our
is your
family.
birthday?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Thomas.
Love
Thank
you
you.
all.
Richie is going to be 2 years old on Sunday.
Aw, yay. That's beautiful. All right.
And
Goodbye, everybody.
It's a journey of stories. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you. When are we going to see
See you over at Mitch.
You'll see them on Sunday, maybe.
Well, it depends on when I'm traveling, but Sunday at 10 a.m. I don't know if we should move it, but it's everything. It's fertility, but I'm the solo guy. So, some people say, hey, Dr. Kiltz, we missed just you. Well, yeah, thanks. But
I didn't know.
I need help every day, and Alia and Nelson help Kiltz. All right.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.